Hello everyone, welcome to another language arts lesson. Today we will be learning about prefixes. Now, before I go into the lesson, there are some things that you need to do. You need to read aloud the story Big Yard by Jerry King. Then recall the events of the story in sequence. You can do so by tabulating them. And the last thing you need to do is to map the traits of each character. Here are the lesson objectives for today. At the end of the lesson, you should be able to describe what a prefix is, explain how to identify a prefix, list some of the commonly used prefixes, show how a prefix changes the meaning of a word, and identify suitable prefixes to form the opposites of words. Now that you have done the pre-lesson activities, here is a synopsis of the story. Big Yard by Jerry King. The story is told by a puppy who was born in a big yard. He was not loved by his mother nor the people who live in the yard. He suffered hunger, abuse, and neglect. This is because he was not born brown as his brothers and sisters, but was born brown and black instead. One day, the little puppy was chastened by children who spotted him outside the yard. This caused him to run a far distance away from home. Scared, confused, and hungry, he walked around looking for food and a place to rest. Fortunately, he was fed by a man with a bone. As time went by, he caught the attention of some children who fell in love with him and took him home. They fed him and treated him kindly. He was happy to be a part of the family and to be living in his new big yard. What a lovely story! I know that you are enjoying it. Now let us look at the characters in the story. You would have noticed that some of the characters play a more important role than the others. Now take a look at the list of characters. Characters in the story: children from the first big yard, puppy, mother dog, men working on the car, the man on the street, the children from the second big yard, uncle and aunt. Now let's take a look at the character traits. Do you know what a character trait is? Let me remind you. A character trait is a word that describes a character's personality. These can be stated or shown by the character's actions. For example, the character loves to laugh. We can say that the character is jovial, so the character trait is jovial. Now, boys and girls, a character may showcase more than one trait. Let us now take a look at a map of the children from the first big yard. Children. They were unkind, cruel, uncaring, and unloving. I am sure that you can add more traits to this map. Now, let us take a look at the map of the puppy. The puppy was unpopular, he was lonely, and he was also unhappy. Now, boys and girls, look at the map again. What have you noticed about most of these words? If you said that they start with the syllable UN, You are correct. Let us now examine the words. For children, the traits are unkind, unloving, uncaring, and cruel. 3 of those words begin with the syllable UN. On. And for the character puppy, unpopular, unhappy, and lonely. 2 of those words also begin with the syllable UN, on. The UN part or on part of the words is called the prefix, and it means not or opposite of. Now let me ask, what other words can you think of that begin with the prefix UN? Take a minute and list those words. Are a few other words that begin with the prefix on. Unhook, untrue, unrail, unpaid, unlucky, unveil, unroll, unload, unlike, and unhealthy. Now, boys and girls, by now you would have realized that the prefix on placed before these words change the meaning of the words. Remember that this prefix on means not. So then, everyone, can you now give me a definition for the word prefix? Here is a definition. A prefix is a group of letters placed at the beginning of a word. Many words are made up of a prefix and a root word. The root word in unpopular is popular. Therefore, boys and girls, what is the prefix? Wonderful. On. Let us now examine some other words. The word unkind. On is a prefix and kind is the root word. When on is placed before the word kind, it changes the meaning of the word. Now, this word means not kind. The word disagree. This is another prefix. Agree is the root word. Disagree is the new word, which means not agreeing. Illegal. Ill is the prefix and legal is the root word. Illegal means not legal. Irresponsible. Irresponsible. Ir is a prefix and the root word is responsible. Irresponsible means not responsible. Impossible. Im is the prefix and the root word is possible. Impossible means not possible. Indiscipline. In is the prefix and the root word is discipline. Indiscipline means not discipline. From the words we've just looked at, we have identified this list of prefixes. Prefixes which mean not. on, this, ir, il, im, and in. Those are not the only prefixes there are. There are lots more. Take a look at some others, their meanings, and the way they are used in words. Now, boys and girls, I know that you are learning a lot about prefixes. Over time, you will get them just right. Now, here is an activity that I want for you to do. Look at the underlined words in each of these sentences. Examine each prefix and tell what each means. Dad had to defrost the chicken before he put it in the oven. The TV showed an action replay. Bart liked prehistoric animals. I know that you have gotten all of those correct. Now your teacher will take you to this Jeopardy! Follow the link on your screen. Have fun working in your groups. Before I go, I want to teach you this jingle. It will help you to remember prefixes and to identify them. A prefix is a syllable that comes before a word, used to change its meaning and forming a new word. On, il, this, and on are prefixes we use to form the opposite of words when reading, writing, and speaking too. Many prefixes make up several words, like sub, ir, de, and non, which doesn't mean the same. Now you see words are not difficult to know. Just know the meanings of prefixes and root words, then away you go. Practice the jingle with your teacher, and I am sure it will do wonders for you. Let's review the objectives to see if we have covered them. Are you now able to describe what a prefix is? Explain how to identify a prefix? List some of the common prefixes? Show how a prefix changes the meaning of a word? And identify suitable prefixes to form the opposite of words? I know that you can do just that and much more. Until then, have a wonderful day.